Hi class, welcome to week 4 of U.S. History 1302. Today I am here at the FDR Memorial in Washington, D.C. We'll walk through and I'll show you guys the memorial, but first I'm going to go over the assignments that you have for this week. Now week 4 is a busy time in the class, just like week 8. This week you have your weekly quiz and your discussion as normal, but you also have your midterm that you need to complete. Be aware your midterm does have multiple choice and true-false questions. It also has a short essay that you have to do and 2 short answers, so make sure that you allow for time to complete that because it must be done in one setting. It's also a good week to start putting the final touches on your essay, and it will be a good week to send that off to the CTC Writing Lab. They will give you feedback that you can then incorporate into your essay. Students that do use the Writing Lab tend to do very well on their essays, so keep that in mind. Alright, so we are here at the Franklin Delano Roosevelt Memorial in Washington, D.C. This is the largest memorial in D.C. for a president. It is very long, as you'll see in a few moments, and it spans about 7.5 acres. So it's very large, and it's separated into 4 different rooms, each one symbolizing a different term in its presidency. Now, FDR was the president that has served the most terms in office. He served 4 terms as president through the Great Depression and World War II. You may hear some helicopters flying over. There's a lot today, so hopefully that doesn't impact the sound too much. But we'll start here at the prologue to the memorial, and you have a statue of FDR here in his wheelchair. Now, when FDR was a child, he was diagnosed with polio, or not as a child, I'm sorry. When he was 39, he was diagnosed with polio and became paralyzed or partially paralyzed, so spent a lot of time in his wheelchair. While in office and running for office, he made an agreement with the press where they would not show pictures of him in his wheelchair, and the fact that he was partially paralyzed was largely hidden from the public. He used braces to stand when he gave speeches and a cane to walk, or braces on his legs when he was walking. So whenever this was put in, it was pretty controversial because he didn't want people to know that he had polio and that he was paralyzed, and so there's a struggle over this specific statue, but they chose to put it in to show that presidents can also have disabilities. So we'll walk through. Again, this is where we started. The wall that says Franklin Delano Roosevelt, President of the United States, 1933 to 1945. And as we come through here, as you see on the ground here behind me, it says first term 1933 to 1937. This room is going to be a memorial to his first term as president. You have quotes all along the wall here. Things that he says, I pledge you, I pledge myself to a new deal for the American people. Now, unfortunately, it's wintertime, so a big part of this monument is the water fixtures, which are all turned off for winter, so you won't be able to see those. Here we have a etching into this wall of FDR's inauguration, and up top, of course, it says, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself, which is a very famous quote from FDR. And we'll keep walking through. That was for his first term as president. There is a lot of seating here. It's very open, right off of the tidal basin where cherry blossoms are in the summer, and you can see the Washington Memorial in the background there. So coming up to the room representing his second term in office, and you have that on the floor there, 1937 to 1941. This room is going to represent FDR's work to get us out of the Great Depression. Here behind me you have a statue of a man listening to the radio. This is symbolizing the fireside chats that FDR would hold, where he would talk to all of the American people, reassure them that everything was going to be okay and that the government was working to end the Great Depression. And basically they were a symbol of hope for the American people. Then here we have a statue of a bread line and the challenges of the Great Depression. Walk through. Now FDR was handicapped, he was disabled, so this monument has done a lot to make sure that people with varying disabilities can still experience it. In this part you can see there is braille and etchings people can use. Hopefully you'll be able to see some of that, and it is all wheelchair accessible. So you have these that tell a story for those that read braille. Walk through, and there is another water feature that is not used. In this section for the second term, there is a water feature where water falls down multiple different stairs that symbolize the Tennessee Valley Authority and the dam project that was used to create a lot of jobs for people in the Great Depression. Now we're coming up on his third term, which is 1941 to 1945. Of course, that is going to be his term during the war, World War II. You see third term down behind me. And walking up. Let's see. So in the main statue here, you're going to have FDR and his dog Fala behind us. You can see it's very large. Fala was his sidekick. And again, you still have quotes from FDR all around. Here will be the water statue, or the water fixture, that will turn back on in the spring. This one is, when it's on, is waterfalls, symbolizing the chaos of war. And we'll move over here, and you have one of his famous quotes by the water scripture. It says, "I have seen war. I have seen war on land, war on the sea. I have seen blood running from the wounded. I have seen the dead in the mud. I have seen cities destroyed. I have seen children starving. I have seen the agony of mothers and wives. I hate war." And then you'll also have this statue over here, where it has the various blocks, and it will have pieces of his speeches written on the blocks. And you have "I hate" on the large one in the center, and then "war" is written on another one down below. Personally, I like dogs, so I think that this statue of FDR with Fala is one of the coolest in DC. So you can see that there. See it close up. Little Fala. Yeah, she's super cute. And then there's the bigger one of FDR. He's very large, very green. But it's one of my favorite statues here. Now we'll go on to his fourth term, and again, after FDR died during his fourth term, the law was changed to where presidents could only hold 2 terms in office. So we have their fourth term. That was in 1945. He was elected, but died shortly after he was in office. And this is the end of the memorial. You can see the ramps going down into the basin there. I'll take the steps, and the statue in this section is of FDR's wife, Eleanor Roosevelt, who was the first U.S. representative to the United Nations. There's her statue behind. This is also the only memorial to a president that has the statue of his wife included. She was instrumental in his presidency. So you can see her there. Again, more quotes from FDR around, and then the final water fixture here will be still pools, symbolizing the death of FDR. This is a large monument, so I know it was a long video. Thank you for sticking with me. Again, work on your midterm this week. Keep working on your essay. I'm looking forward to reading them, and I hope you guys all have a great week. Bye.